Welcome to a 1UP3D Blender tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be making a bark texture for a palm tree. I had a request to do a jungle tree, so I'm going to be making several different types of bark to show you. There's lots of different kinds, so I'm going to cover some of the basics. And we'll get started with our palm tree by opening up GIMP. And create a new file. We want the width and height at 1000. And we're going to want to go to advanced options and change the fill to transparency. I'll adjust this real fast. Alright. Now we're going to select a base color. You're going to want it kind of a light yellowish, something like this. You'll just have to play around until you get the right color, or if you want you can copy these values. But next thing we're going to do is create a new layer. I'm going to select our lasso tool, and we are going to make several stripes across this. Hit enter to close them, and then hit shift and hold it to create another one. Enter again, and we'll make one more. You'll want to play around a little bit with how many of these you make. And we're gonna change the color to white. We're gonna dump on those. And we're going to create a new layer, and we're going to select a very light brown. We're going to dump that. So as you can see, we have these stripes. We're going to go back to the white layer with the white stripes, and we're going to fill the transparent areas with black. And we're going to move that down below and save it for later. We're going to blur this layer and try 55. That looks about right. And we're going to add some noise to that. And we're going to create a new layer. We're going to add some color variation in here. We're going to use some kind of gray colors. We're going to cut those up with the lasso tool really randomly. Right, and then we're going to blur them. About 200 should be good. Yep. Maybe a little bit more. I'll just do 200 again. Alright, and we'll add some noise. Now we're going to do this again with another color, probably a lighter gray, something close to white. We're going to repeat that process. I'm going to pause while I do it. Alright, and now we're going to merge these layers down. As you can see, you can still kind of see the stripes, which is what we want. Merge this down. Now we're going to go to the stripe layer. We're going to scale this layer to about 125. And now we're going to add some noise. Turn this up a little bit. Now we are going to blur it by about 5. And add some more noise. Now we're going to scale it back to its original size. Make sure when you're doing this that you unlock it right here. I should have said that before, sorry about that. Right? Now we're going to create 2 layers of white. We're going to scale this one. We're going to want to make sure we unlock that. We're going to scale the height to about 75. I'm going to add some noise. And we're going to scale it back up now. Alright, now we're going to go to the second layer that we just made. We're going to go to Render, Clouds, Difference Clouds. And we're going to turn up the detail on this, turn it to Randomize, and put it at 1 on both of these. Right, make this our main layer visible again. We're going to go to Map, Bump Map, and we're going to go to the striped layer, and we'll want to unlinear. We'll adjust this until we can see a good bevel and erase part where the stripes are. There we go. Now we're going to go to the cloud layer. I'm going to make this sinusoidal. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but turn off compensate for darkening. Oop. Sorry, that's running away from me. Actually, I think I want to keep compensate for darkening on in this case. Sometimes you just have to play around with it until you get what you want. Alright, there we go. And our last layer to use as a bump map is the noise layer. We'll change this to linear. We'll turn on the depth on that. Alright, and last thing we're going to do is go to Map and make Seamless. And we'll test this out and see how it works. Export it to my desktop. I'm going to save it as a PNG. I'm not going to label it right now, but I suggest that you do. And I'm going to pause while I set up Blender to show you what this will look like. Alright, so I've set up a little scene to show you what this texture will look like. And we'll add it on there. Alright, and I'm going to have to go to edit mode and unwrap this. And cylinder projection. Since Palm Tree is basically like a cylinder, I tend to use that as an example for it. And we will scale this up on the y-axis in the UV. Alright, and that's what it looks like in the game engine. You can adjust the materials to make it look a little better. Alright. There you go, a palm tree texture. These can vary a lot, and you're going to have to play around with it to get it just the way you want. If it's not turning out the way you want it, just be patient and keep trying. takes quite a while to get things if you're being particular about it. Let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe and let me know if there's any other textures that you want. I think next I'll be doing pine or oak. I had a request to do jungle tree, which I'm not exactly sure what that refers to, if that was meant to be palm trees, but I'll be doing kind of a tree with a lot of moss on it. Kind of what I've noticed is what is considered a jungle tree. So I'll be getting back to you with those, and I'll see you next time.